Welcome back, guys, to my YouTube channel. We'll talk about love in anime, movies, TV shows, and so on, right? So we're going to talk about the romance movie French Lover, right? It's a French movie. Just to just to get that, just to tell you that first. So you're gonna have to watch it in French, or have English dubbed or English subbed. But I think I would say you should watch it in French dub so you can hear the French. Them speaking French, maybe you can learn a bit of French, right? I've actually I learned French for 3 years in high school. French is a beautiful language, and then I feel like if you're an English speaker, there's some words in French that are in English. So if you learn the grammar and the basics, you should be able to. If you read it, some words are the same, so it's much easier, right? If you want to study French, so I think it would take maybe 1 or 2 years if you're very serious about it to actually learn the language. But there's some people who actually learn the language who say it took like 5-7 years. So I guess it really depends on how much you learn, who you are, and stuff like that. But enough about French, right? Let's talk about the French Lover, right? So the movie is about Abel, who's is an actor who wants to be in movies, right? But right now he's doing commercials that he really doesn't like. Then we have Marion, who's a waiter, and they meet each other when Abel is upset about doing commercials. So he goes to a restaurant and he meets Marion, right? So Marion has just been through a divorce. So right now she's fresh out of divorce. She's trying to sort that out. Then Abel is, looking for something, right? Maybe a distraction, something to keep his mind off the whole he can be an actor and everything, right? So that's basically the movie premise. So Abel wants to be an actor. Then Marion wants to open a food truck. So those are their goals, objectives, right? So it's always good to know the characters' motives in movies. So so it's good to have a motive, so people are interested in the characters and if they achieve them, how they achieve them, and so on. So that was basically the premises for their for what they want to achieve, right? So for me, when the movie started, like let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes in, I really didn't like the actor, like the way he was portraying the character. I thought it wasn't that good. But when the movie went on, I realized, he's a good actor. So I just wanted to get that across. So I didn't particularly like this acting, but later on I did like it. Then Marion, I think she was pretty solid in terms of the actress portraying the character. So that was pretty solid, right? And then I like the chemistry between each other. They had like great chemistry in terms of like actor and actresses, like so on. There are many movies or TV shows where you watch actors, either that they have no chemistry just naturally, or that the characters have no chemistry, and at that point you just disengage. You just don't want to watch it anymore. But I think they had great chemistry between each other, right? So Abe was kind of a dick in the beginning, just kind of mean, right? Just being self-centered. Like actors, I've never met an actor, so I don't want to say that all of them are self-centered, obnoxious, selfish people, but that was a character that we were given. So I thought he was kind of like that. Then Marion's like this innocent, shy waitress, and then so Abe pursues her, and then Marion's like insecure, like why would the actor want to be with a waitress? It just doesn't make sense. Also, she was unemployed as well, since she got fired from the waitress job because of Abel. So you can see I'm like, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, so Abel pursues her, then they start a relationship, and it was great moments. I like the montage. Romance movies, most of them have montages, right? So they spend time together. Abel goes sees their family and stuff. I want to put a note here. I always enjoy when different, like, because Abel is black and Marion's white, right? I always enjoy when races and cultures, people like come together and just have a meal together and actually talk, because most differences can be solved by just sitting together and actually talking, right? Like let's say you're African, right, and you have a certain perspective about Western communities, or like how certain Western people are. If you invite them to dinner, they invite you and you guys sit together and actually talk, it'd be a great conversation, because you guys grew up in different countries, different households, saw different things in different perspectives. So I always enjoy sitting with different cultures, talking to different people, and hearing what they had to overcome, how their life was like. I like to talk to French people, Greek, Spanish, and just like how was your childhood, what did you eat, or like when you went to school, what did you guys do at school, what did you learn, like these things. I didn't, whatever they did I also didn't do. So I just keep that in mind, that it's always cool to get different cultures and different perspectives on life. I think it helps you grow as a person, to see that people don't live the same as you do, and there's like 8 billion people, and each person has their own perspective, their own upbringing, their own history and stuff. So it's always good to talk to different people from different nations, right? So back to the movie, right? So they have this great montage, great moments and stuff like that, right? But then like Abel gets an acting role, so he's in a movie. Then Marion is like, I guess she's too unemployed, just doing her own thing, right? So what happens is, Abel just ramps up the dial. He goes from being a dick to being more of a dick, right? So that didn't go, more self-absorbed, more selfish and stuff like that, right? Which is to be expected, right? If you're an actor, you have to be on set for 6 months, whatever, filming, memorizing lines and stuff like that, right? So that's very difficult. And then Marion is just there waiting for him to come home and to spend time with him and stuff like that. So because of that, they spoilers, right? They break up, and that leads to them going separate, right? It's a great movie, good acting. I think I'll give it a 6.5. Would be a 7, right? But I think it's pretty good. I would normally watch American movies or American romance movies, but it was good to watch French romance movies, so I see how they film things. They film stuff differently, they act differently, there's different environments, different settings, so it's always good to see the differences. I think they're pretty good, in my opinion. I think I recommend to to watch them. I'm the one person who says I can't be bothered reading French subtitles and hearing French, but once you start the movie and the movie's good, then it shouldn't be a problem at all, right? So I highly recommend you guys watch it. Great movie. I'm waiting for French Lover 2. I'm waiting for that. Hope it drops next year, whenever it drops. So what's the next sequel? What I really hate is when movies have a sequel and they make it either absurd, like they go to the moon or something, or they downplay it, right? I think if I were to suggest something, right, a good sequel would be like they have children, right? Maybe 5, 7, right? And then we try to do something with the characters like Marion and Abel, and see how they work within the family. Maybe they travel to maybe Italy, whatever. We see them in different situations. We try to make a different movie than we made the first time. Because we can't just repeat what we just did the first movie. And many movies do that. They just repeat the movie again and again. I think we should try different things here. So that's my opinion for the second movie, right? If they want, I can write the script. I can be a script writer. Let's make something new. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, any reactions, just put them in the comments, and I'll make sure to read those. And I'll keep posting the movies I have watched, Tempest romance movies, and see where we go. Thank you.